So, yeah, this time let's do Project.el, Corfu, and Eglot. Um, let's see. I have set some stuff up with Project.el, I believe. Yes, I did. I'm gonna take all of this with Embark that we saw last time. That's what I use Embark a lot for. Like select the symbol, something even big one, and then cut or copy. So that's probably my number one use for it. Yeah. So we stopped at Embark and Embark console, copy to register this thing that we set up. I don't remember about this. A vertical multiform mode. Don't remember this. But anyways, this was already evaluated, so I will spare you from just going step by step this time. Also because most of the things here you will not immediately notice that they are up and going, right? Um, right. So yeah, Project.el. So Project.el is a built-in package, so you don't need to install it from Alpha or anything. It's already built into Emacs, and you can use this to manage your projects and browse through your projects. So I have some main uses for this. One main use is to go to a project. So we access the Project.el menu by doing Control X P, and usually we will have all of the options visible. Let me turn on which key? Control X and P, and you can see that we have a bunch of project-commands. These are all project-wide commands that you can execute. The ones that are not project-wide are the ones that actually you can actually use to reach a project. So if I do P again, there will be switch project. Right now, I'm not in a project, right? Right now, I'm just in a file, in a directory, but there's no project. If you have Git and you have a Git repository in a directory, Project.el will assume that that's the project that you're using, that you want to use. So Control X P P, and we can choose a directory. In this case, I will go back, and I have some test directories and some proper projects as well. So I have this dummy project that I use. It's a Python project. So I can select this path, right? And it will prompt me to choose what I want to do. If I want to find a file, find a directory, you can also open eShell or maybe eat or whatever terminal emulator you want to use. And let me check if the music, probably the music is a bit too high. Yeah, the music was a bit too high. And I will lower it a little bit as well. You know, instrumental music does not affect studying usually, or cognitive performance that much. Not as much as like actual voice music with voices and words, but still. Okay. Oh, right. Sorry, I'm in the mini buffer. So we're in the mini buffer, and Project.el will ask us to do something as an entry point to the project, let's say. I usually just do the directory, so it will just send me to the directory in the project that I tell it to. And here's dirt. So I'm in a project now. If I do Control X, P, and then F for find file, I will have a menu of all the files present in the project. So it will default to the project root directory, right? And show me all the files and directories from there. You can also see that it will show me this one. So this is pretty good, right? Because I mean, I can just narrow my scope to whatever I want, right, in the project. And we can also customize those things. So very well. There are some custom options already that I implemented. There's this project list file. So this should be where your projects are saved. And if we copy this and go here, yeah, you can see that I have Pizzator projects, dummy project. So all the projects will be here. If you want to remove one, you can do it from here. But there's also a command for that, and that will be project delete. No, remove. No. Project forget project, right? And we only have one right now, but that's fine. So let's go back to the project, Control PP, and we can go to our project again. Again, we choose the directory. So we're in our project, and we want to open one of the files, right? So let's say that I want only Python files. I have these options. I don't really remember what's in these fours. This is from some old stream. I have no recollection whatsoever of all this stuff. But that's fine. What we can do is just remove all this and also this, and just have load there, right? Save this file, and now we can execute this. Now, there's a couple of ways to execute Python code. One way is to do Control-C, Control-P, right? And you open the interpreter on the right, and then you can do Control-C, Control-C, and it will execute. But this is not necessarily the interpreter of your project, right? Maybe you have a virtual environment, hopefully you do. So maybe we want to execute something specific. In this project, I set up UV, right? At least I think so. We can double check that, but yeah, there's a UV lock. So I want to execute this. How do I do that? I can go to the Project.el. Maybe there's a script thing. No, is there? No. Well, they're not there, but you can still manage it. So Control X, Control P project, and then C to compile, and we can provide it a command. In my case, I will provide the command uv run source dummy project and main, right? So let's compile and see if it works. Save file. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it worked. There's this weird thing. This is because of UV that installed some dependency that was missing, right? But our thing worked. If I do Control X, P, C, and execute again, it will work just fine. Very well. So you can see how this can be quite nice to have shortcuts that are project-wide. And the other thing that you can do is also call a shell, right? So that's with the S, right? And here I have a shell now in my project root directory. So wherever I am in the file system under the project, it's going to be fine. You may say, well, but that's kind of a given. Some time ago you had to install packages to achieve this, and now it's basically built in. All right, let's go back to the .emacs file. And we also have the project line mode T. This should show us here, right, the name of our project. That's what I use it for. If you work with several projects at the same time, that can be quite useful. And then project kill buffers display buffer list. So this is in case we are done with this project and we want to kill all buffers related to this project. So I can go ahead, and I believe it's K. It's probably K, isn't it? Yes. And what I did with that setting is prompt me to say, do you really want to delete these? Yes. And now you can see if I switch buffer, those buffers are all deleted. So this is Project.el. It's not much, but it integrates quite well also with other things like consult. So if we go back to our dummy project and go to the main file, I can also use a command from console that will integrate with this, such as console grep. So in my case, I think I have it bound to Control-Alt-S. I will double check that. Control-Alt-S. Consult grep. Yes, this is what I use. So now that I run this, you can see that there's this parentheses here and it says project dummy project. That's because we are going to query only within the project. And I can search maybe for hello there. Nothing. Okay, there. And you can see that I have found some. So what about main? Yeah, you can see that I have several files with main. And here we can do all the typical consult things and embark things. We can export this. We can do all of that. But for now, we just want to know that we can query the whole. We can query the whole project, right? Very well. So, I think this might be it for Project.el as of now. Now we will talk about Eglot, and Eglot is the interface between the LSP server and that you use and Emacs. So the LSP server is used to provide services like autocomplete, type checking, and all sorts of stuff, also formatting. So each language can have several language servers, right? I mean, look into that, like just look LSPs, what are LSPs? So in case of Python, I use Pyrite. This is from a test that I was running with TY, which is a new LSP from the guys of that also made from the guys that also made UB. But I don't like it, to be honest. So I'm using Pyrite every time. And oh, it was tabs. It was tabs all along. So I set Eglot for both modes just to be sure, because I never know for sure if I set up three-seater mode properly. So three-seater mode is a mode that uses tricet. Tricet is for syntax highlighting mainly, but it can also be used for other things. It's for parsing code, right? So you want both, ideally, tree-sitter mode and Eglot together, because then you have good syntax highlighting. Some packages provide features like code folding together with tree-sitter, so you can also get that. But in general, you want tree-sitter and also Eglot. So let's try to do this. You can see that I also have one for Golang. Maybe we will look into that as well. So if I want Eglot to start, it's probably already running in here. Yes. So when you start it, you will see that you have connected. Yay. What do you get from this? Let me turn off Corfu mode. Well, you get help in autocomplete, but you also get help with errors and stuff like that. So, for example, do that, do math, and we accept a input that's an integer and return instead input plus 5, right? Well, what if I do math with 2? That's fine. And what if I do math with 8? I have this, and I will get this pyrite. So you can see that there's like this error reporting as well, other than other things like formatting. So Eglot format. So you can see that in my case, I don't have it because Pyrite does not work in formatting with Eglot, apparently. That's fine, but in other languages, you will get it. I'm pretty sure that with Golang, you do get that feature working. Let me double check that everything's running fine. Yeah. So this is one of the things. Another thing can be, for example, the line length, right? I do you know, maybe not. Maybe it's not checking the line length. That's good. I don't like that type of check. But yeah, the types for formatting, each LSP has different capabilities, so you need to check those. And the other thing that it provides is autocomplete. And right now, we don't really have a nice way to autocomplete. So we can do from ether, and you can see that there's no like completion. There's no. Now I don't get any type of completion, but if we install another package that's called Corfu, Corfu will integrate very nicely with Eglot, and it will integrate nicely with any other type of completion. Okay. So what does Corfu do? It provides you nice little autocomplete drop down options, right? Like modern editors. And it also gives you that capability in the mini buffer and a bunch of other places. Anywhere where you can have autocompletion or abrev completion, you can get that. What's abrev completion? So it's a different type of completion that you can find in Emacs, which relies on what you already wrote, what's already in the file. So I can do capital H, E, and if I do alt slash, I should get a completion that matches the latest in order of line, right? The latest word that was the same. In this case is hey, right? I thought it would match with hello because it's capital, but it seems to be. Well, you can also cycle, right? You can also cycle through those. There's also a help. I'm not sure if it picks this up from somewhere else, but anyways, then print, right? Do math, documentation, and all this stuff. I think it picks this up from all buffers that you have open, probably. Yeah. So very well. Let's use Corfu though, because it looks really cool. We will put it here and then activate it with Corfu mode enabled, right? So let's try to do again print. Now I get a very nice drop-down menu from which I can choose the completion that I want, right? Get this, and maybe I can also do from ether tools. Now it integrates with Eglot, and I can just import stuff. Import a right. So yeah, this is basically the nice combination that you have. And by the way, Eglot is built in, right? So actually, I don't think you really need an ensure anymore for this because it's built in. Corfu, it's not built in, but it integrates awesomely with everything. So let's try to do the rest of auto completion. We saw before that we were almost able to do auto completion here. Right. You can see that if I try with the shell command, I'm not even sending the command yet. I'm not in a shell. I'm just here, and Corfu integrates nicely and just allows me to autocomplete even in here. And if I open eShell, I believe I should have it. This one. Let's check. Yeah, still works. So you have these nice autocompletion options, autocomplete options. I think I have an embark select. I just noticed from here. I think I have an embark select. I don't know how to drop those. Oh man, I gotta find it. I have no idea where I left it. Where was that? Oh no. Well, it's fine. I will live with the little thing popping up. And it's in here? I think it's in here. No. Can I export? Yes. Oh, it was this. The TUI server. But it still doesn't remove it. Really annoying. Well, anyways, so So let's look at some of the options from Corfu. So we have the cycle that allows us to do stuff like getting to the end of the options and then, oh, maybe I should do something smaller. Use region, yeah, I can get to the end of the options and then cycle back up. Auto means that it will just enable itself whenever. These are optionals. This config, by the way, it's all from their documentation. So if you go to the Corfu GitHub repo, you will find this config or a very similar version of it. So this is a global enable history mode. This integrates with history. So if you do a go line and control R, you have a history, and autocomplete can Corfu can integrate with that. And this one, I'm not quite sure what this is. Describe mode, minor mode, pop-up infinite. Doesn't say much. Is it maybe for documentation stuff? Like if I do import ether tools. No? No. Oh, maybe I know what it is. I think this should integrate with the doc strings of things that you're importing. I'm not quite sure about that though. Okay, so the space separator. I used to not use this, but now I kind of do. I'm getting used to this. So basically, it allows you to insert spaces in what you're auto-completing. So if I do use UID, I can take advantage of orderless in this way to find my match. So maybe I remember only some use IPX, right? I can go just initial by initial, letter by letter until I find more or less what it was that I was looking for. This can be good if you only remember the beginning of some words and stuff like that. And with my redfish memory, it's probably very useful. So some of the other things are the preview. I'm not sure if this is something that would work, especially with files. So show current candidate as overlay. Oh, as an overlay. So this is what it is. You can actually try it. Oh, it's already enabled. Wait, do I really get that as an overlay? Oh, by overlay maybe means this. That's right. That's right. That's right. Ah, this is the pop-up info. It is. I'm pretty sure this is the pop-up info mode. So we get to see this, right? The documentation when it's available for the things that we want to use. Is this maybe something that needs to be enabled? Maybe the preview, just the preview that we see, but I'm not sure. Let me try again and turn it nil. Use. Oh yeah, right. It's right. Now we don't get the preview in here. I was thinking that by overlay they meant with a like a different face, you know, different font color or something like that. Actually, no. Just it's just the text, the preview text. Very well. What else? Yeah, these are some hooks. I honestly just have it enabled everywhere. The nicest thing. And then these things that are also suggested in their documentation are always nice. This is to enable indentation and completion using tab. So by sometimes if you go too much vanilla, some key bindings can be a bit, I don't know, alien compared to like a normal shell. So, and yeah, this is something they suggest, but uh, I, I don't really get into this iSpell stuff. So, autocompletion which do not apply to the current mode. This is something actually that can be useful in something like the shell, probably, or if you are getting a completion from things that are from other buffers, like we were getting before with .brev. So that can be nice. But you can see that I don't get completions for .brev. .brev is separate. If you want to, you can set up Corfu to also provide you that and use Cape. I think with Cape you can achieve something similar. But for now, this is a very basic setup. It's just, you know, let's get working, let's get stuff running. Very well. So this is the command of the language server, the Pyrite language server. I actually prefer now to use UV. So in all projects that I have where I can use UV, I will just go ahead and instead of installing, setting up virtual environment and stuff, I will just go ahead and use UV. So we can use UVX or UV run tool, I think. But UVX, you saved some words. So I think this is all you should need. We can go here and restart again. Server died. We can go check in the Eglot error. I think we can probably solve this with a, I think it's from, and then Pyrite. Okay. Pirate. We can try again like this, and maybe it will work. Yeah, now it worked. Nice. Probably because it knows where to pull it from now. If you do this with Python, though, just make a pywrite config.json. I think it's called, or something like that. So if you make that file, you can configure all the things project related, and this will work out of the box. Any project that you change, you don't have to worry about virtual environments and stuff like that. You can just use UV and Pyrite through UVX and be fine. Like, you don't even have to change the dependencies in your project. Like, if the project uses a different dependency management tool, is still fine. You can just do this, right? Because in the pywrite config file, you can point to the virtual environment, wherever that is, and everything will work out of the box. So it's pretty nice. Very well. So this is most of it for what it concerns Emacs.